Good morning, dear students. Today we see about root pressure. As iron from the soil are actively transported into the vascular tissues of the root, such as the xylem. Water moves along and increase the pressure inside the xylem. Okay, this pressure is called root pressure. So the pressure increases inside the xylem vessels. This pressure is called root pressure. Okay, and it's responsible for pushing water to smaller height of the stem. Okay, uptake of minerals. Plants depend on minerals from soil for its nutritional requirements. All minerals cannot be passively absorbed by the root. Two factors account of this. Minerals are present in the soil as charged particles, iron, that cannot move across cell membrane. First one, and second one is the concentration of minerals in the soil is usually lower than the concentration of minerals in the root. So therefore, most minerals enter the root by active absorption through the cytoplasm of epidermal cells. This needs energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate ATP. Then it is transported to all the parts of the plant by the transpiration full. Okay, already I told about a transpiration full. Then translocation of mineral ions. Translocation means the minerals move from one place to another. Transfer of minerals one place to another. Minerals are remobilized from older dying leaves to younger leaves. Okay, remobilize. Mobilize means movable from the old leaves or old dying leaves. Those leaves are going to death to younger leaves. This phenomenon can be seen in deciduous plants. In Tamil, இலையுதிர் மரங்கள். Elements like phosphorus, sulfur, nitrogen and potassium are easily mobilized, while elements like calcium are not remobilized. So small amount of minerals exchange take place between the xylem and phloem. So this is called translocation of mineral. Now we see the phloem transport. Till this we see about xylem transport. Now phloem transport. The food synthesis by the leaves, food prepared in leaves, and are transported by the phloem either to the area of requirement or stored area. Phloem tissue is composed of four major parts, namely sieve tubes, sieve plates, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and finally phloem fiber. But it's mainly sieve tube and sieve plates. Okay, cytoplasm strand. So strand means like thread-like structures pass through the cytoplasm, the pores in the sieve plate. Phloem transport food from a source to a sink. The source is a part of the plant that synthesizes food. Where is prepared food? That is a leaf, and a sink is the part that needs or store the food. But the source and sink may be reversed depending on the season or the plant's need. So where is stored the food is reversed depending on the season, or suppose in summer season, okay, environment conditions say overs light. So in rainy season or winter season, poor in light. So that time the food is reversed depending area of the plant or needed area. Since the source sink relationship invariable, so the direction of movement in the phloem can be upwards, maybe downwards. But in xylem, the water and minerals are only upwards, not downwards. But in leaves prepared food, that food may be transported to the upwards or maybe downwards. Okay, so that is called bidirectional. In contrast, xylem is a unidirectional, that means only upwards. Okay, then translocation of sugars. The mechanism of translocation of sugar from source to sinks is through the pressure flow hypothesis glucose prepared at source by the process of photosynthesis is converted into carbohydrate, that is called sucrose. So the sucrose moves into the companion cell, is one part of the phloem vessels, then into the living phloem sieve tube by the active transport. Active transport with the help of energy, ATP. This process produces a hypertonic condition in phloem. Water in the adjacent xylem moves into the phloem by osmosis. As osmotic pressure builds up, the phloem sap move to area of lower pressure. By active transport, sucrose move into the cells where it is utilized or stored. As sugars are removed, the osmotic pressure decreases and the water moves out of the phloem. Then ascent of sap. One is experimental process to prove water move along the xylem vessels. Okay. See, the upward movement of water and minerals from roots to different parts of the plant by the ascent of sap. A number of factors play a role in ascent of sap and take place in a following steps. One is a root pressure. Water from soil enter root hairs due to osmosis. Already you know about the osmosis. The liquid or solid move from higher to lower. So the soil is having much of water, is higher concentration. The plant body is no water, it's lower concentration. Okay, root pressure is responsible for movement of water up to the base of the stem. Okay, then capillary action. Water or any liquid rises in a capillary tube because of physical forces. This phenomenon is called a capillary action. In the same way, in stem, water is rise up to certain height because of capillary action. Then addition, cohesion of water molecule. First one, water molecules from a continuous column in the xylem because of force of addition and cohesion among the molecules. Both are called sticky. First one, cohesion. The force of attraction to sticky between molecules of water is called. Okay, more water molecules are a attraction between or attraction them. Then addition. The force of attraction between the molecules of different substances called. First cohesion means only water, but second we say different substances. Water molecules stick to xylem because the force of. So the water molecules attached with the xylem tissues. That process is known as addition. Then transpiration, full. Transpiration through the stomata already we saw in last class. Create vacuum which create a suction. Suction means in Tamil urunjidal, called transpiration full. The transpiration full sucks the water column from the xylem tube, and thus water is able to rise to great height, even the tallest plants.